What is up, guys? It's the NJB here, and today I'm going to be talking about how 2017 went for Star Wars and how it kind of was the worst year for Star Wars. So, without any further ado, let's get right into it. So, we were kind of excited for 2017 with Star Wars content. We were getting Star Wars Battlefront 2, which we basically saw in E3, and we saw that they were finally including the Clone Wars and including the new era of Star Wars, which is kind of like the First Order and the Resistance, kind of like wars. So, we were all excited for that. And honestly, Star Wars Battlefront 2 was a big letdown. The game was ruined by microtransactions, and I feel like the microtransactions problems that we had, I feel like that was kind of covering like the real problem with the game, and that the game was pretty lame. The game only had 5 multiplayer game modes. The game only had a few maps from each era. We only got like one DLC, like one map per DLC so far, and I'll assume that we're probably going to get one map per DLC that we get. We don't even have all the maps that the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out with. And remember, the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out in 2005. So you mean to tell me that in 2005 they can create much more content in a game without any other problems than a brand new game coming out in 2017, 12 years later? Something's got to be wrong here. In the original game, you had all the maps you can think of. Any moment in the movies that you wanted to relive, you can do it because the game just had all the content and it had the game modes that allow you to do it. This Battlefront game doesn't have the game modes, doesn't have the maps, doesn't have the freedom. I mean, you just can't do it. I mean, this game doesn't even have like all of your favorite characters in Star Wars. You can't play as Obi-Wan, you can't play as like Kit Fisto, Mace Windu, Count Dooku, General Grievous. You can't even play as Palpatine with a lightsaber. I mean, this game is just missing a whole lot of stuff. And it's kind of leading me to think that these guys really aren't trying that hard on these Star Wars games. And personally, I'm not even surprised by that. I mean, the campaign was pretty cliche. I mean, if you haven't even played the campaign, you can probably guess how the campaign's practically going to go through. I mean, spoiler alert for the campaign right now. So I'm going to give you guys a second to click off or whatever. But you can kind of predict that Iden Versio was going to join the rebellion. I mean, it just seemed pretty obvious. I mean, there's no reason for anyone in their right mind to stay on the Empire side anyway. And if they're going to make a main character who would stay on the Empire side, that would be kind of dumb because there's no logic behind it. So it was kind of like, it was really easy to predict that she was going to join the rebels. And the campaign was honestly kind of boring. I mean, pretty easy to play, pretty straightforward. The gameplay mechanics, I don't know. It was fun a little bit, but overall the campaign is not something I'd go back to play if I had the choice. Unlike I would say probably like a Battlefield campaign, which I find more exciting than this game's campaign. And kind of weird that they're both made by the same studio, the DICE. So overall, Battlefront 2 from EA was a pretty... The game's not horrible, but the game isn't something too desirable. I mean, I still play just because it's kind of fun to play, but I really wanted something more from a Star Wars game, especially since it's going to take the name of one of the best Star Wars games that we've ever had. And probably the only good Star Wars game, or the good, like, let's say first-person shooter Star Wars game that we've had in a while, pretty much because of everything you can do in the game. And since we're on the topic of Star Wars games, I think it is important to remember that Visceral Games was shut down by EA, and the Star Wars game, the linear Star Wars game that they were working on, was also canned. So it is kind of unfortunate to see that we're not going to get as many Star Wars games as we got in the past with cool Star Wars stories. I would have hoped that we could see more canon stories, not just on screen, more like just in video games as well. Kind of like we saw with like Star Wars Battlefront games and Force Unleashed and just other games like that. But I doubt we're going to be seeing that anytime soon. Or at least not any good stories, kind of like we were getting in Battlefront 2, which wasn't that great of a story. Throughout the year, we also did get Forces of Destiny, which was, in my opinion, not that great a show or volume, or I don't even know what its count says. But to me, I feel like it was just like a waste of time. Disney's, I honestly don't know what they're trying to push with that show. I mean, I guess it's some kind of feminism, because most of the characters in it, I mean, it only focuses on the female characters of it. And I guess it's supposed to be for younger girls, I guess, watching Star Wars. But I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people didn't get into Star Wars by watching like like super kiddie shows about Star Wars. I mean, I don't honestly I don't think anyone gets into like any like big story or big franchises by watching like any kid shows versions of it. I mean, I'm pretty sure people like they watch like more serious stuff and that's why they like it. But I don't know. I guess a show like that wasn't made for someone kind of like me. But to finish off the year of 2017, we get The Last Jedi. And I really did not enjoy this movie. I mean, this whole movie. I mean, let me even start before I saw the movie. I saw everyone's videos who watched the movie early, and basically, the common consensus was everyone liked it. Some people would even rate it like behind Empire Strikes Back, like this, their second favorite Star Wars movie. And they were just saying that this movie was great. It's what we've been waiting for when Disney got Star Wars and they announced that they're going to make more Star Wars movies. And I watched this movie, and I guarantee you, the whole time I was watching the movie, I was thinking in my head that these people said it's great, so that's what I'm expecting. I was waiting for like that moment in like throughout the whole movie for me to kind of go like, okay, this movie's good, this movie has something, but it never came. I walked out of that movie theaters, pretty much like I was disappointed. I didn't know, I really didn't know what to think. I was like, this movie, everyone said it was great, but I kind of want to hear everyone else's opinions before I just start basically hating on it. Because I wanted to see, like, okay, maybe I'm wrong on some things. Maybe there's something I missed. But so far, I was disappointed. And most of the times when I can decide if I like the movie or not, I can just walk out of the movie feeling like that was a great movie. I want to see it again, or that was awesome. And I felt like that between Thor Ragnarok. I felt like that in Wonder Woman. Didn't feel like that in Star Wars. And that's because this movie honestly was a waste of time. I mean, there's just so many things that this movie had in it, and none of it I feel were too important. This movie really felt like a Star Trek movie. It felt like there was just stuff happening to characters, and it's just like another one of their adventures, even though it's supposed to be serious, I guess, because the Resistance is running from the First Order, and it was just weird. I mean, for one, when has a ship in Star Wars ever had to run out, like ever had to deal with fuel problems? I mean, that's completely brand new, and I honestly don't think it should be in a Star Wars movie. Um, when do people get arrested for illegally parking something, like a car or anything? I guess a ship in this case, and they're thrown in prison because of that? I mean, that's ridiculous. All the scenes in this movie were just, they were just whatever. I didn't care about anything. I wasn't excited throughout the whole movie. I mean, a lot of action scenes it seems like playing a bad video game campaign and it just starts making you fight, makes you watch a cutscene and it starts making you fight. That's what the action scene kind of felt like to me. All pointless, didn't really, I mean, some of them were cool, but overall it was just a waste of time in my opinion, and I just did not enjoy this movie. I really hated how they didn't answer questions like who Rey's parents were, who's Snoke, what about the Knights of Ren. Personally, I don't mind that Rey's parents are nobodies, but if you're gonna like say that there's someone and make us like wait 2 years to find out who they are because of Rey's vision that we saw in The Force Awakens, you gotta come up with something. But then the movie really just says like they're nobody, and I'm fine with that. But don't make me believe that they're gonna be someone like important or like someone at all. Don't make me think that they're going to be someone and then wait 2 years to be disappointed. I mean, we didn't find out anything about Snoke, and they showed us how powerful he was and how easily he can use like force abilities such as lightning and telekinesis, and he can link two people's minds across the galaxy. That's insane, but they killed him so easily. And people are saying that they're probably going to bring him back. I honestly doubt that. Look how bad they've done this entire movie. We're kind of two average movies into the this new trilogy, and I hate that we have to wait for episode 9 to hope that maybe we're going to have something good. I'm tired of waiting for another movie, and I'm just not happy with it. And I feel like the Knights of Ren would have been a nice addition to this film, but we didn't get them either. And I really don't like how this movie copied some scenes from the original trilogy. And I don't get why people are saying the movie is original when they copied a lot of scenes. Like, when Luke trains Rey, it's similar to when Yoda trained Luke. When Vader takes Luke to his master, similar to when Kylo takes Rey to his master. When the Resistance are fighting snowtroopers, or I guess the snowtroopers didn't actually come out, but the First Order used snowtroopers on a salt planet that has no freezing temperatures. No one was wearing anything to stay warm. I'm pretty sure they mentioned that. Yet they have snowtroopers there? For what purpose, other than just a copy from Empire Strikes Back? And the movie starts and ends with the rebels on the run, and nothing really changes other than some characters who we don't really know about die. And I don't know. Am I supposed to care about Snoke now? I mean, I kind of wanted to, but I don't because I don't know anything about him and now he's dead. I never cared about Holdo because I didn't know anything about her and now she's dead. And yeah, this movie was basically with the rebels on the run and it ends with them on the run. And I hope everyone knows that Kylo could have ended the resistance right there. All he had to do was go down to fight Luke and order his troops to just storm the entire base. But he doesn't. He has everyone stand back and he goes to fight Luke on his own. So overall, this movie's a waste of time and it kind of finishes the year off for being one of the worst years for Star Wars. I mean, I can't think of any other year that would be worse for Star Wars. And because of this movie, I honestly don't know if I'm excited for the next movie, the next Star Wars movie, Episode 9. For the anthology films, I know we're getting Han Solo. It should be this year, and I haven't heard much about it, but I know we're getting that. And for the other anthology films we might be getting, honestly, I'm not excited for them. I mean, they're going to be on characters we already know, and I would really hope for them to make movies on characters we don't know much about. Like, I wouldn't mind like a movie maybe on Rey's past. I mean, she's a good fighter. She can speak lots of languages. I mean, she speaks the language of the Wookiees, and that's interesting somehow, or she understands it at least. So maybe we can know something about her. Maybe we can stop calling her Mary Sue if we actually know why she's so good at things. Maybe that's her force ability to be good at something. We don't know, but I doubt anyone who made The Last Jedi would know anything about specific force users having like different force talents. But overall, I think 2017 is the worst year for Star Wars, and I don't know how Star Wars is going to be in the future. Hopefully we can get some good video games and hopefully maybe more Star Wars media that's actually good. But the way Disney's kind of milking Star Wars for money, that's kind of the way I see it with these movies, because they know anything Star Wars is going to make money, but I don't really think they're too concerned about making a good story. So I don't know. I don't know what Star Wars is going to be like in the future, but I guess I'm going to watch the movies anyway, but I'm just not going to be as excited as I was before. So that's basically my opinion. I think 2017 was Star Wars' worst year. What do you guys think about 2017? Did you like the Star Wars stuff we got in it? And did you like Battlefront 2? Did you like The Last Jedi? I think most people didn't like The Last Jedi, but there are a lot of people who did like it. So please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And if there's anything else that I probably didn't touch on that was negative for Star Wars in 2017, you can also put it in the comments below. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, mates.